is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me with...
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the Armoury. Welcome to us news. Sorry it's a day late. Obviously last night I did the Arsenal Man U preview, so I had to move this to another day. I wasn't sure exactly what day I'd be doing it, but I've managed to get it in for today. Next week, I promise it'll be back on Friday. I promise. Definitely won't be any previews. Big up to Ollie. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. It's very nice of you, Ollie. Definitely missed talking to you. Big up to Tony, Babano, and BX Gunner. Big up to you as well. Look. Evening, Tony. Evening, Bobby. Welcome to my show. It is always yours now. To be honest, the chat box is the show for me. I just talk about stuff, but you guys keep me entertained in the chat box. And yeah, I work off you guys. So to be honest, it is a chat box show, to be honest, for me. Big up to Geeks of Muckleby, my favorite name on YouTube. I absolutely love it. Hello, everyone. Hello to you too. Hope everyone is well. Right, this is obviously going to be a quick stream because it's just myself this evening. Big up to Chris. It's a very good evening. It's a very good. I feel like the 2-1 is there. It's a very good evening for me. It's a very good evening from him. But big up to you, Chris. Hope you're doing well. Let's get into the first story. Obviously, Mohamed Kudus was being touted as the next one in at Arsenal. Obviously today there has been an Armoury bomb. However, the Armoury bomb did suggest that there is no bids. However, Kudus, they're discussing personal terms and all this kind of stuff. So yes, Chelsea are currently in pole position. However, I'm not concerned just yet. I think if Arsenal were to go in for Mohamed, then yes, he would then come to us. But we do need to get out the players that we need to sign. So we can sign some new ones. That's what we need to do. Big up to King. Hope you're doing well. Big up to Tony saying hi to Geeks. And Kudus is hype according to Tony. Look, I've always said that everyone's entitled to their opinion. This guy I actually love. Tony doesn't, and that's absolutely fine. How many Y players do Chelsea need? To be honest, Chelsea just try and get this jigsaw together, and it just doesn't make much sense, does it? They've been the most busiest with ins and outs this transfer window, and they haven't stopped. To be honest, they just need to worry about getting a striker. Leave everybody else alone. That's what I would do if I was them. They really annoy me, if I'm honest. Chelsea do. Mainly just because I don't understand their logic. But look, Kudus, number one priority at the moment is probably Chelsea. But I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried right now. There is still that what is now typical Arsenal approach and bring someone in that nobody mentioned. Exactly. There could well be signings under the radar that we don't know about. Big up to Tony Bowley. Definitely follows Twitter. He does. Honestly, Chelsea I stalk Twitter and seeing who's getting linked with who, and then they'll go, okay, we'll have him. We'll go and get him instead now. Because they know that Arsenal right now have to sell to bring anybody in. Like, that's just balancing books. It's just common sense. We have to sell to bring in. Doesn't need to necessarily be a transfer fee, but for our wage structure, which I will talk a little bit about today, because I have been released with the new salaries, so I now know who's the most paid at Arsenal. And yeah, it's an interesting story, a little bit of information which I will give out shortly. Kudus is a CAM and centre forward. He is also he's I definitely say he's a very big box to box. He can also play out wide. Because obviously Ajax are my Dutch team. When I watch Ajax, he just grabs the ball and just goes with it. He's a bit like Declan Rice, where if he doesn't feel his teammates are doing it, he'll just grab the ball and do it himself. It's mad. Bowley does stalk Twitter. I heard he put a bid in for Nigel Farage. Jeez. What a pound. Jeez. Right, let's get on to the next story. And we're going to be talking about Bitello. Bitello deal getting close, but there is a problem. And the problem is the work permit issue. There is a work permit issue. He wouldn't achieve it right now. So the most likely possibility at the moment is we agree a fee, he stays at Gremio, and he may join us in January. That's the most likely. There is another possibility where we still sign him and then we loan him out into Europe somewhere. So we'll wait and see. But I think we can get the deal done this summer. I'm very confident. I know Edu has had very positive talks with his team on this. And the fee should be fairly low. I'm hearing like 10 million euros. It's a very small fee for a very talented, versatile midfielder. And he's only 23. I would absolutely love to see him here. Big up to James. I'm not worried about any signings we make from now on. I am more than happy, says James. I am very concerned regarding the right wing. That is my weakness, I feel. Look, I'll always stick with my guns on this, and I would sign Taremi as well for £20 million. Someone that can score goals, guaranteed you score goals as well. So yeah, that's where I am at. That's what I feel we need still. I don't want to be missing stuff. I don't want to be missing players because I don't want Saka playing every game in and out, in and out, in and out. It's just not going to be good for him. Tony would love to get him. I'm guessing you're talking about Kudus. I'd love to get Kudus. But I'm be very happy with Bitello as well. I think he's absolutely brilliant. Got a great strike. I am not concerned about right wing. We have enough cover for Saka. Is like Salah and plays pretty much every game. But Saka shouldn't be playing every game. You know, touch wood, this never happens. He's out for 6 weeks. What do we do for those 6 weeks? We play Jesus on the right and Eddie up the front. That doesn't excite me, if I'm honest. We need quality cover every position. We don't have that right now. That's my concern. Cherry on the cake would be like an Osimhen or Mbappe. I'm not even going to bother talking about Mbappe tonight. It's a total waste of my time, if I'm honest. Due to the fact he will be sold this summer, it's not even worth me talking about Mbappe anymore. It's not going to happen. Not for Arsenal anyway. My hope was that he stays and we have the possibility of a free next summer, not by paying a fee. Absolutely not. Right wing striker is my concern for the season. Big up to you, geeks. If Partey stays, I feel we need one more in centre mid. Yep, 100%. As the drop off after Rice and Partey is still quite big. 100%. We'll get into the parties talk in a little bit. I would love to get a centre forward and have Jesus challenge of centre forward and right wing. Look, if that happens, I am absolutely fine with Jesus going out on the right, but I'm not having Eddie up front. That's a drop off. That's a drop off for me. Is, you know, Jesus, yes, can cover for Saka. Don't get me wrong, but then that means Eddie up front. Sorry, but no. Last year's Saka drop off and Partey drop off hurt us. Exactly, it did. And, you know, I don't think Partey will play as much as we expect him to next season if he stays. I'll get into that in a minute, but if he stays, I don't think he'll play as much as we all expect him to. And to be honest, I'll always stick to my guns. I'm not that bothered if he doesn't. Right, let's move on to the next story. Douglas Luiz interest could be reignited. Obviously, this is slightly linked in with the Thomas Partey chat that I'll be having shortly, but he is still on the radar of Arteta. He still is liked by Arteta. Obviously, worked with him at Man City. I think Villa could let him go. I don't think it'll be an easy deal to do, but I think it could be happening if Partey goes. And it is a big if, but he still could go. I don't I get where Arteta's comments came from, and I do agree with what he was saying. However, because Partey will not sign a new deal, he's on £200,000 a week now. He's 30 years old. He's only got 2 years left. If a fee comes in for him that's acceptable by Arsenal, there is no way we're going to turn it down. Simple as that. And Partey has agreed a deal with a Saudi Arabian team already. His team has. Let's just have a look here. Eddie is not improving because he is not good enough for the system. Need to cash in. Nice lad, just not good enough. King, 100%. I'm gonna. If I could, I'd put that on my background and keep that there, because that is perfectly how you should describe Eddie. Absolutely lovely lad, just not good enough. Doesn't fit in our system. Does not fit in our system at all. So for me, yeah, I would sell him. Do I believe that we could? I think if the right offer comes in, I think we'll sell him. But it all depends on if the right offer comes in. There is obviously talk with Wahi, the player from Montpellier. I think it's Montpellier. That's possible, but I think West Ham currently are leading that race at the moment above Chelsea and us. So yeah, there's a lot still to happen. A lot will still happen yet. Sorry, Bobby, I don't rate Louis. I don't. It's not my. This is Arteta. I don't. I think we can do better as well. He's 26 now as well. The age profile doesn't fit with me. I would be happy, and I'll say this on screen. I don't, James. I know I'm going to upset you, but Andre Trindade, I think he costs about 25 million euros from Fluminense. I would be absolutely delighted to have him. If anyone gets to see him play, he's like a little piranha in that midfield. Very good defensive midfielder. He's 21 as well, so he's young, and he's got so much more that he can achieve. And he's so good now. He's so good. So yeah, I would get Trindade for to be honest, and it's a small fee. Like if we were to get 40 million for Partey, spend 20 on Trindade, we're actually making a profit. So yeah, for me, absolutely be happy with that. Smart thing would be to sign a prospect 6 to 8 right now. It's possible. Look, there's still going to be some incomings, but now we definitely need to move on the outgoings, and that is not helping right now. But we'll get into that conversation as well shortly. The truth is, I've yet seen Partey perform for an entire season. I'm not sure how physically he will hold up for a 60-game Cups and Champions League season. Geeks, this is why I love the chat box. I love you. Honestly, I totally get it. There has been 2 drop-offs from Partey in the past 2 seasons. And yes, Arteta came out with what he said, but he's not going to say, oh, I don't want him here, is it? He's never going to come out and say that. That's not how Arteta works. He will say that for Cedric and Pepe. He will probably say, I'll be glad to get rid of him. But he won't say that about Thomas Partey, and neither should he. We want top money for Thomas Partey if we were to sell him. So yeah, I don't understand what people expected Arteta to say about Partey. Sorry, Tony, I didn't even see a comment. But yeah, that's literally what else do you can expect to come out of Arteta's mouth? It's mad. If I could get 2 more players in now, it'd be Lavia or another prospect and Evan Ferguson. Not going to happen, but one can dream. I think there's something brewing regarding prospects. Don't quote me on it, but I just think something's brewing in the background. And I'll explain why in a little bit. But yeah, something is happening, I think. Montpellier chairman was quoted earlier in the window stating why he wants Arsenal, but we have heard that before. We have. I don't particularly rate him, if I'm honest. I don't particularly rate him. That's just me. He doesn't excite me. Yeah, I hope he proves me wrong, but I just don't think he's that good, if I'm honest. I would have taken Yuri over Luis, but yes, Trindade, or Thuram would be good options, as with Lavia. The Lavia one, to be honest, I would have thought this would happen quick because, you know, there's a good fee for him. It just doesn't make sense it's taken so long at the moment. I know it's not taking forever, but I thought this would be done pretty quick. Southampton start their league in like 2 weeks, you know, but it is what it is. Big up to Luca. He wouldn't take Douglas Luiz. I wouldn't, but, you know, I trust Arteta. I don't trust Arteta. I trust Arsenal. Because I have to remind myself that this is not Arteta Football Club. This is Arsenal Football Club. Partey doesn't need to hold up for 60 games now. We have lots of midfield quality. Need to get into the model of. Nope. No, I'm not saying that. I am not saying that, James. We need what I've always said, and I've said it on all the previews last season. We need to start doing the squad rotation, and it's nothing to do with that team. This is to do with football. Football at an elite level, you need to play and spread the playing time around. So when you have an injury, you've got a player that can go straight into that squad, and there is no drop-off. There's no match fitness issue, nothing whatsoever. And yeah, just I will not say that team's name. Will not say it. Just cannot. It bugs me. If we got Lavia, don't you think Timber and Rice could help him develop? Look, 100%. I've got no issues with Lavia coming in. I'm not one of the ones that thinks he's too young. I don't think just because he's had one season, that's not enough. I've seen him play in a very bad Southampton, and he looks absolutely. He impresses me. I think he's going to be absolutely quality. So I have no issues with him coming in. Surprised nobody has made a serious inquiry about Everton's Onana. Well, I'm pretty sure Amadou Onana will be leaving. I just don't know. It is Amadou. I'm just making sure I'm not getting the wrong, because there's 2 Onanas now, isn't there? But yeah, Amadou Onana, I'm pretty sure will leave Everton this summer. I just don't know where. I have no idea. But I know he said he wants to leave. Lucas saying here, is Partey definitely going? Stay, because if we only sign Lavia and Partey goes, it's not good enough, because I would keep Partey and sign Lavia, then midfield sorted. I'm not going to categorically say that he will leave, and I'm not going to categorically say he will stay. I think there's enough to know that there's a possibility he might leave, but if that fee does not come in that Arsenal want, Arsenal will not sell. They will probably sell next summer, because Thomas is not going to sign a new contract. So, yeah, it's mad. Thing is, we need squad rotation week in Champions League, 100%. I could be possible that Timber could get some minutes at some point in midfield. I can see that happening. I really can. Yeah, Timber's really good in midfield. I think what Arteta said, Thomas Partey sounds very good. I personally think he will stay. We'll wait and see. Honestly, if the fee comes in that Arsenal will sell at, then they won't say no. You know, he's not going to sign a new contract. Arsenal, they know he's in his last 2 years. You want to maximise the amount of money you can make on any player. So I can see him leaving if the fee comes in. If the fee doesn't come in, then Arsenal will keep and probably sell him next summer. I wish Chelsea would sort Caicedo out to stop rumours about him coming. Yeah, look, I think I touched on it last show. That there's a possibility that it's going to be a late move. But because there's no offer coming for Partey right now, as of 7:20 on Saturday evening, there has been no offer coming for Thomas Partey. I can't see us going for Caicedo. That's the only way I could ever see Caicedo coming in. If we sell Partey, which seems unlikely right now, we should go and get Kimmich or Frankie de Jong. Perfect and welcome players. Big up to Clock Orange. Love the name. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Sorry, my partner was looking at me weirdly because I obviously said the name Clock Orange. But yes. Yeah, I love both players. And Frankie de Jong is someone I've been told to keep an eye out for the whole window. Something might happen. We don't know. The issue with Onana is his data on the ball. It's not good enough for the top teams, but he is so physical. At Everton want big money. They do. I think it's about 50 million they want. mind you, they paid quite a lot in the first place. We should go for Kimmich or Frankie de Jong. If Kimmich was 100% available, there's talk that he might be. It's around 60 to 70 million. Frankie de Jong is a situation I've been told to keep an eye on. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, I would go for one of them. I have no issues with that. Hello, I hope party stay. No sell Lokonga. Yes, sell less. Lokonga will be sold. Hoping it soon. But to be honest, we need to really get moving with these sales. That's what's really frustrating me right now. And I get that it's probably because we're in America. It's not helping situations because, you know, most of the team are out in America. So let's just hope we do get these sales done quickly. Got bounce now. I've got stream up for tonight. Great show. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, Luca. Appreciate that. Let's move on to the next slide. Saka could have good competition finally, and this is by Jesper Lindstrom. 23-year-old Danish right winger who plays for Eintracht Frankfurt. Cost about 30 to 35 million. I'll have to be honest. It's a bit like going from Pires to Glenn Helder. He's good. He just doesn't excite me. Does that make sense? Like, Lindstrom is good. He doesn't excite me. I want players that are like, there's no drop off. I think there's a drop off from Saka to Lindstrom, if I'm honest. Obviously, I watch a lot of Bundesliga. He just doesn't excite me that much. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe he comes in and sets the world alight, but he's never set the world alight when I watch him. I go, all right, yeah, not bad. But I don't want to be saying that about my players. I want to see, wow, that was an amazing performance. A bit like Bitello. When I've been watching him and been watching Trindade, I like to go, wow, what a performance. With Lindstrom, I'm like, yeah, it's like a mere signing. I don't want to be doing that. I think Arsenal try to keep everything to their chest unless dealing with West Ham. Well, that wasn't anything to do with Arsenal. That was West Ham blurting everything out. West Ham just did not shut up during that whole time. It was mad. I feel the current crop of those we need to sell will be the last that are tricky to move. After the 6 or 7 quality will make sales speedy and we will get good value. I definitely hope that we get good value. If we were to sell every player that we wanted to sell for money, we could easily get 150 to 200 million in. Easy peasy. But it depends if there's enough teams out there that want these players, and that's the main thing. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. Bit of a positive news now. White and Odegaard will sign new deals this season. I actually think this could happen within the next couple of months, if I'm honest. Odegaard currently is on, I think he's actually on less than Ben White is. Let's just have a look. Yeah, Martin Odegaard is on 115,000 a week at the moment, and Benjamin White is on 120. Odegaard's contract runs out in 2025. White's runs out in 2026. So Ben's will probably be a small extension, like maybe an added 1 or 2 years. Odegaard's hopefully be a 3 or 4 year extension, and obviously a lot more money. I'm expecting Odegaard to go to around the 250 mark. I would have thought Ben probably an extra 30 or 40,000 a week, I would have assumed for those two. But yeah, absolutely great that we're signing these down for longer term. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Lindstrom is not the guy for me. We're in such a good place that we can get better talent. Totally agree, King. Me and you, King, tonight are totally in sync. Totally in sync. I love it. Great news. It is absolutely brilliant. I can't wait for them to sign. It's just, I have no fear of them leaving at all. It's mad. I have no fears of them leaving, but it would be nice to get them to sign for longer. I trusted Arsenal last summer, and I will this summer. White and Odegaard like new signings, so that's 7 or 8 signings this summer. Yeah, Richard Garlick, who I will big up. Richard Garlick has done an amazing job with the new contracts. Yes, Edu helps too, but Richard Garlick is the main man when it comes to contracts. So big up to Richard. Right. Thomas Partey. Obviously, I've covered most of it anyway, but 1 + 1 doesn't equal 5, which is what the journos have done in this week. Regarding Thomas joining the US tour late, they thought it was to do with transfer talk. It had nothing to do with transfer talk. It was a paperwork issue, which is why he joined late. That is it. It was a paperwork issue, had nothing to do with transfers anyway. So he was always going to join, just like other players are out there. If you're telling me that Runarsson is out there because he's going to be part of our squad next season, I'm going to cry. I am going to cry on stream if I see him as the number 2 on the goal on the subs bench. So yeah, not happening. What happens with Partey in the next 5 to 6 weeks? Who knows? But yeah, Tony. I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying a word. That would be the majority of the squad here for the next 3 seasons. Exactly. We're gonna. It could be something like that. It could be. Let's move on to Pepe. I can't see what it says here because there we go. Pepe will leave Arsenal as soon as possible. I honestly think that there has been a deal agreed between Arsenal and Pepe already to end his Arsenal career. He's not come back to London Colney. He's not been seen training in an Arsenal shirt. He's been training in a Lille shirt and doing anything other than Arsenal duties. So I think there's been a deal already that he can just leave. The deal with the Saudi club, even though you're very true, Tony, very true. I have to be careful. You don't. So it's a case of with Pepe, I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's an Arsenal player. If I'm honest, I don't think he is. I think he'll just leave and he'll just be off our wage bill, which for me, happy days, absolutely happy days. Don't want to see him back at the club. I love the player, but his attitude stinks and he just doesn't fit the system at all. So yeah, glad we're moving on for him. Cedric is edging closer to the exit door. This one is like one moment he wasn't going anywhere, and then all of a sudden there was like 6 or 7 clubs. 6 or 7 clubs that all of a sudden just come in from the biggest one right now is Villarreal. Obviously, they've got some money. They've sold some players. I think they're selling another one to AC Milan shortly as well. So yeah, I don't think we'll get much. I think for Cedric, the minimum I actually want, I've got it written down here, is £3 million. If we can get £3 million for Cedric, I am happy as Larry. Right, the Americans didn't believe Partey was 30. Only they saw he finished the season just shoot to his 60s. My car is running, Bobby. He better not let me down. Yeah. Holding is leaving. We're just waiting for a destination at the moment. But yes, Holding is definitely leaving. Lakonga is definitely leaving. Cedric is definitely leaving. I think Pepe has pretty much gone out the door already. Balogun will be leaving. So that's a few. Charlie Patino. There's still so much to happen. So much. And I think the US tour has kind of just halted things a little bit. It's kind of annoying. And actually, Clock Orange, you've put another one there as well. Nuno Tavares, yeah. El Neni. El Neni is an interesting one. I have been told that if an offer comes in for El Neni, we might accept it. Now, I think an offer around 7 million for El Neni, I think we'll accept. That might shock some Arsenal fans, but it wouldn't shock me. Get him off the wage bill. You know, he's been a great servant, but he's not going to get any to play game time next season. Let's be honest. I don't think he's going to get anything. So, yeah. The only clubs interested in Pepe and Cedric are I love it. Nuno Flow. Look, Flow 40 million. Nuno, what, 15? That's 55 already. Tierney, we don't know what's happening with Tierney, if I'm honest right now. El Neni is a great guy, solid pro, but not of the level, 100%. 7 million, no way we'll get 2 to 3. I'd accept anything for El Neni, if I'm honest. But I think if there was talk of an offer around 7 million, that they would definitely jump at the chance for that. I think El Neni will be part of the staff at some point. Possible. Look, we've still got to replace Steve Round, and I think we will be, and we've still got to replace O'Driscoll as well. Those appointments will happen, I think, when Arsenal come back to the UK, which is later this week. So El Neni to Saudi makes so much sense. Totally does. I can see it happening. And to be honest, if we get more money than with Tellez from United, I'll be well chuffed. To have 4 million. Absolute madness. Right, let's move on to the next one. Another youth player being sold. Now, this is Alabusi Busu, who was on loan at Kilmarnock last season. He has been told, and they've agreed between each other, that he will be sold this summer. I think we'll be lucky to get around 500,000. 500,000 for him. He hasn't had the greatest time out on loan. He did all right at Kilmarnock, but nothing more than that. But this is why I was saying earlier that I think something is happening with the youth. I think we might be starting to see a few players come from other places. I think we're going to start signing some youth. A bit like what Man United have done in the last 24 hours. They've bought a couple from Man City. They've actually paid quite good money for it as well. There's 2 16-year-olds. So, yeah, I think we'll start doing that as well. Mid guy, hope we get at least 2 million. Okay, fair enough. Just think after the last 14 years, if we sold that bunch, no Deadwood makes me feel emotional. Exactly. Once we get the Deadwood, honestly, once we get rid of, and I'm only going to say Pepe and Cedric, the other ones are all right, I'll be happy, because we just don't want players that are earning so much money at our club. Cedric is on £75,000 a week. Pepe's on 140. He's getting paid more than Odegaard is. That's what frustrates me. He's getting paid more than Odegaard. It absolutely annoys me. Right, let's move on to players that actually have moved out. Billy Vigar, who was on loan at Derby under-21s last season, has gone to Eastbourne Borough for next season. So big up to Billy Vigar. So if anyone is from Eastbourne area, please do give him a follow and check how he's doing. And please let me know as well, actually. I do try and keep up with them, but some of them are a bit tricky to kind of keep up with because they're in places that I can't really watch the games too much. And another one that has left has joined Slough Town, Hubert Glazik, the goalkeeper at Arsenal. He has gone out on loan. He is their new number one. They have officially announced it, number one goalkeeper for next season. So big up to Hubert. Hope you do well. Right, update on our Arsenal women down under. Right, I have got the list here. Oh dear. Right. Okay, so we've obviously got Catley and Ford, Australia. Their team beat Norway 1-0. Catley scored the goal. Both played 90 minutes. Then we've got D'Angelo and Lacasse for Canada. D'Angelo did not play. Lacasse played the second half against Nigeria in a 0-0 draw. Then we got Kuhl, who played for 62 minutes against China in a 1-0 win. Obviously, England played this morning. Russo started, played 76 minutes against Haiti. 1-0 win. Ruben Moy did not play. Palova is yet to play. They are playing Portugal tomorrow. Marnham played against New Zealand in a 1-0 defeat. McCabe played against Australia in the 1-0 defeat. Blackstenius, Hurtig and Ilstedt is playing against South Africa tomorrow. And the final two is Moritz and Walty. They both played in a 2-0 win against the Philippines. I actually forgot to write 2-0, but I know they beat 2-0. Maritz had a fantastic game. Walty wasn't so great, if I'm honest. So yeah, it's not great. I reckon we'll get money for Trusty as well. So many players we can sell. Trusty, yeah, will be sold. But again, I think a lot of it is with Balogun and Trusty. I think it's because they're American. We're kind of using that little nationality there for a reason. Clock Orange, 100%. I don't want to hear anything about £2 million that I heard against with Rangers. That nearly made my head fall off. Yes, we must get good money for Trusty. I don't know if I've put him down on my list. I think I did. How much do I say we must get for Trusty? 12 million. 12 million is what I want for Trusty. I want 12 million. I don't want anything less. Geek saying Trusty is another great guy. I think we could see 10 million-ish for him. Could be solid for a championship lower Prem team. 100%. 100%. I think Ipswich is the last team mentioned we've linked with him. But I don't know if Ipswich got that money, if I'm honest. It's a lot of money for a championship team to pay. Especially one that's just come from League 2. No, League 1. I bet Canners is dancing his lounge concerning party. Probably is. I know he messaged me earlier in our group WhatsApp. But I still have not said he's staying yet. Until I'm 100% sure he's staying, I'm not saying he's staying. That's for sure. That's just like that at the moment. And then we're going to go on to the last one. Obviously, I'm trying to remember when last time I did the stream. It was Tuesday, wasn't it? I don't think we did the skills. Did we do the skills that day? I can't remember. But anyway, we've done the skills. We beat the challenge, whatever that was, crossbar challenge and all that weird stuff. But then we actually played the MLS All-Stars and we beat them 5-0. Great performance, some great goals. And obviously tonight, if you can, I know it's a late one, Moss will be on the Armoury along with Across the Pond Sports Talk, along with Full-Time Sports Network to do the watch along for Arsenal versus Man United. If you possibly can as well. There was a preview last night, which was absolutely fantastic with Colm and Mr. B from the Man United agenda. Absolutely loved it. There was a retro challenge as well, which I absolutely loved. So yeah, there's the watch along is on at 10 tonight with Moss. Big up to Moss doing that for me. And Barcelona game will be on, I think that's Wednesday morning, something like that. I know there's another game this week. And then we've obviously got Monaco a week on Wednesday, I think, isn't it? Which I will be doing with Moss for the Emirates Cup. So we've still got so much long still to do. They were biased. They were biased, but big up to our sister channel, The Agenda. Absolutely love them. I love working with them. Are we trashing United today? We are not, but you are more than welcome to do that with Moss tonight. I promise you can do whatever you like with Moss tonight. Probably a last prediction for United this evening. I went for 2-1. I went for 2-1 to the Arsenal. I think we can do that. Trusty marketing value is so high, and the value. He was absolutely fantastic at Birmingham last season. Absolutely, for me, the best centre back in the Championship. It was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, that literally is the last subject. As I've said, I will be back on Tuesday for Arsenal news once again. I don't think there'll be much to talk about, if I'm honest, as well, because again, it's all focus on the tour, and I totally get it. But there will be updates on the World Cup ladies and how we're getting on against United, and let's see what happens between those few days. You never know. Have a great evening. Thank you very much, Geeks of Muckaby. Pretty appreciate it. 3-1 to Arsenal. United struggles to score goals. Yeah, that's pretty much why I just gave them the one goal, if I'm honest. But thank you ever so much, everybody, for tuning in. Please tune in for later for Moss. Give him some support from us here. And I'll be back Tuesday for definite. Guys, I'm out of here. Take care. Bye-bye.